Hi there, my name is Austin Sheldrick with Monarch Nation News, and as you can see behind me with the Color of Hope t-shirts, our school stays on top of funding for all of the great activities that you see. Now, we have Monarch Broadcasting's Paige Heger here to talk about the story.
As many of you may know, being involved in clubs and sports can get pretty pricey. I talked to some of the sponsors of these groups to see what fundraisers they do throughout the year to help with the cost.
In Skills USA, mainly we do our nacho cheese fundraisers, and we try to do that once each quarter, about 4 or 5 times a year, somewhere in there.
We usually raise money by hosting a quiz bowl competition, and we were pleasantly surprised the first time that we hosted by the amount of money that we raised. So we haven't really had to do another fundraiser.
One other fundraiser that we do is we do a nacho fundraiser, and we give those proceeds to a family, if they adopt a family, over the holidays. And it's very rewarding for students and Mr. Jansen and I to take that money to a family and watch those kids and their eyes light up when we meet them so that they can have a wonderful holiday season.
Now, the Green Team is a brand new club this year, so that's been really exciting. The kids came up with a great idea at semester break. They decided that what we should do is a finals care package. Miss Grasso reached out to us and allowed us to use our care packages during High School Musical. We raised in 2 intermission segments almost as much as we raised during our finals care package fundraiser event. And all of the money for Green Team will go toward our pollinator garden, which will begin to build this spring, probably in May.
These groups and many more find ways to be able to do what they love every day.
To all the seniors who forgot to make the decision to graduate early, and to all you underclassmen who think that graduating at semester would be a great idea, Monarch Broadcasting decided to talk to 2 seniors who made that decision. Let's take it over to Travis Schwartz and find out more.
I chose to graduate early because I took 2 English classes last semester, so I had all my credits, and I wanted to work and take college classes. I think it has benefited me because, like I said, I've been able to work more. I work full-time, and I'm able to take classes that will benefit me for college, and I'll have potentially a year of college classes done before I go to college in the fall.
I chose to graduate early because I had the opportunity to travel staff with a national leadership school, and I could not be in school second semester for it. And also in May, I leave for a 6-month-long missions trip to South Africa, Namibia, and Lesotho.
Definitely, I do. That's why I graduated early, because I was ready to be done with school, and I think moving on to the next part of my life, it was time for me. And I mean, like I said, I'm taking college classes that are more beneficial to me than high school classes that I didn't need to take.
I do. Second semester senior year does have its purpose, but I also had all my credits, and so being able to do something outside of school, such as internships and traveling, will give me more life experience than being in school second semester would have.
I think I would. I would recommend taking 2 English classes your first semester, and then you can decide in December. Because for me, I decided in December. I think taking college classes early and getting a head start on your future is important.
I definitely would recommend graduating early. It has given me lots of opportunities that I would not have if I were in school. Yes, I miss my friends, but I can still see them outside of school.
If you follow our Monarch basketball team at all, there's one name you need to know, and that's Ed Chang. Sam Cacy and Zach Bailey have the full story for you.
Listen to some Drake and then eat some candy.
I know when that hotline blink.
Yeah, they really like helped me a lot with all this recruit and stuff, you know. It makes everything a lot easier. Probably soccer. Tried golf when I was like, I don't know, like 10, but I was too big, so you know, just quit that. I don't know, just smile a lot and just do that and I'll be fine. That's about it. I would say 4th grade. when I first started playing basketball. I wasn't the best, but I still did just have fun. Well, I got offered by Nebraska and Creighton last week. Heard from Stanford and UCLA a couple months back. And then considering probably all of them right now, I just have a lot of time, so I just don't really worry about all the other stuff.
That's all we have today for the Monarch Spotlight. Now, back to Austin and Paige.
With our show choir seasons in full swing, we had Brandon Sessler go ahead and talk to Mrs. LaRue, one of the show choir directors, and find out more about their season and how they're doing.
Last Saturday, we went to Millard West High School for their Sing competition, where In Motion, our prep group, and Heart and Soul and Free Spirit competed and did very well in their competition and had a great day. Well, South Dakota, we're leaving for Sioux Falls at Roosevelt High School, and we're going to be getting a chance to use charter buses and stay overnight in a hotel. This is for two of our show choirs, Heart and Soul and Free Spirit, and we'll be performing with other high schools in South Dakota and Iowa and Nebraska, and hopefully competing to do very well and get great comments and hopefully bring home some hardware. We practice a minimum of 2 evenings a week, depending on what time of year it is. Sometimes we perform in the mornings or practice in the mornings to get just a little bit more ready for our competition season, depending on what's needed. But typically we perform and practice in the evenings. We wear dresses and suits. The men in our groups, they wear suits and ties and dance shoes, and then the girls have combinations of different dresses and costume changes and skirts that tear away and shoe changes, and it's a whole lot of performing fun.
Recently, the NSAA has changed their policies on the participation of transgendered students in high school sports. Jake Zink has the full story.
Earlier this month, the Nebraska Schools Activities Association, or NSAA Board, approved a policy on transgender students participating in high school sports. This policy allows students who identify as transgender to participate in athletics enrolled as the gender of their choice. I spoke to Papillion La Vista Athletic Director, Mr. Jason Ryan, for an explanation on the many complexities of this issue.
So now there's a process, a plan in place where if there's a transgender student that wants to play a particular sport, it starts at the school level. They have to meet with the school administration. They have to file a petition. That goes down to the NSAA, and then there's a committee that is put in place to determine if this student meets the criteria that's in place right now that the NSAA has established. So if a student came to me today that they're a transgender student identifying themselves, for example, as a female, and they wanted to be on the girls' track team, I would have to then write a letter to the NSAA, and it takes about a year plus process. There's a committee that says, okay, yes, this student has gone through the things that need to take place for change. So it's a process. It's something that just overnight.
Do you think this places any unfair advantages onto other athletes?
Potentially it could. Boy says, I want to play volleyball, and they're 6'4", and they just want to play just because. And obviously, so that's why the current policy that the NSAA has in place, there's doctors involved, psychologists, psychiatrists. When you look at these decisions, some time needs to take place, and to kind of see there's a lot of factors. And one of those concerns from people is the unfair advantage. And so definitely you look at all the different scenarios and try to make the best decision.
We surveyed the students of PLHS, and 70% of students agreed that transgender students participating in athletics is fair to all participants. Now back to you, Austin.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Monarch Nation News. My name is Austin Sheldrick, and until next time, stay classy, Monarchs.